Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video character spotlight on Eugene from the Walking Dead comic book and television series. So it's been a couple episodes of the Walking Dead television series. We've seen the arrival of Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita, three new characters in the television series that, if they go based on the comic book series, should be around for a very long time. That said, if any of you guys are weary of spoilers, if you intend to read the comic book series up to current date and haven't, or if you just kind of don't want to know what happens in the series, you may not want to watch this video, because in order for me to really do a character spotlight on Eugene, give my thoughts on the character, and talk a little bit about him, I have to go into the events that occur in the comic book series, because we just seen Eugene basically walk on screen in the television series. I mean, it's 2 episodes, but it's more like one that we've seen him in so far, because he's actually had some lines, and we've actually kind of started to get to know him a little bit and get a feel for him. Whereas in the comic book series, he was around for a he is around for a really long time. It's been. And so we can discuss a lot more the character from the comic books. So Eugene in the television series right now is described basically as a doctor by Abraham. He's kind of, pudgy, overweight. He's got the mullet. He's rocking the mullet. Can't go wrong with that thing. And actually, some people brought this up, is that he's played as if he's like autistic or something. I never got the feel from the comic book series that Eugene was autistic. I got the feeling he was a little weird. Milton was a little weird too. But from the television series, the way he's played by, let's see, I believe it is Josh McDermott. Yes, yeah. The way he's played is that he's kind of like, he's got autism. When he's talking to Abraham, he's looking this way. And, when he walks around, he's kind of like a robot, like walking around and, moving like really slowly. And it's just kind of really bizarre to see a character like that still surviving in a zombie apocalypse. But I guess the whole idea behind it is that he's got Abraham there who's been protecting him, so he can kind of just do the thinking and control Abraham and, kind of just tell him what to do. And Abraham's so tough that he can just protect him. I mean, we saw with the gun. Now, some people, I've watched this a couple times over now, some people thought that when he was firing the gun and they think he accidentally hit he did accidentally hit the gas tank and put a hole in it. Some people thought he did that on purpose. Upon watching it after about 3 times, I'd say no. I'm fairly certain he did not do that on purpose, because when you see it, he's just spraying bullets everywhere. Even when he's trying to shoot the walkers, he doesn't know he has no idea what he's doing. He can barely even control the thing. He can't even hold it steady, and he's just like, bzzz, all over the place. I don't even think he kills one walker with the damn assault rifle, and he probably unloads like, I don't know how many rounds, like just unloads the whole clip probably. And then Abraham comes over and starts with a pistol, putting down 1, 2, 3 at a time, and then they go from there. But yeah, to me, it doesn't seem like he did that on purpose. It was an accident. And also, it's just kind of funny to see a character like that still alive when you consider all the things that Rick's group has been through. Eugene has just used his intelligence to manipulate other people into keeping him alive, into protecting him, because if it's not for Abraham, there's no way he would be able to survive. I mean, Rosita's probably better at defending herself than Eugene is, really, in terms of against walkers, and even against people too. I mean, what's he can't shoot, he can't fight, he's weird. You don't look at people. You're not even going to at least look at your opponent. How are you gonna win? So, he's an interesting character for sure. I've already done the character spotlight in Abraham. I'll put the link in the description for that. It was done a long time ago off the comic book series, and so far it seems like he's basically the same in the television series as he was in the comic book series. It does seem to me Eugene's a little bit different, but I think out of the 3, Eugene is the most interesting character, even though Abraham might be the funnest to watch kill zombies with a crowbar, right? Eugene is just like one of these weird type of characters. It's like, how did you get here? How did you survive until now? And he kind of gets in that later and kind of explains it as we start to learn a little bit more about his character, and he's sort of exposed. Now, that is if they go along with the comic book series storyline. Now, here's the big spoiler parts for what's going to happen with Eugene's character in the TV series. He basically is lying. First of all, he's not a doctor. He's a high school teacher. That's a big difference there. Granted, there's some smart high school teachers out there. I mean, there's not a lot you can do with higher academics unless you do either become a teacher or, a doctor of some kind. Professor, PhD, whatever the case may be. He is really smart, though. You got to give him that. He's about as smart as a PhD would be, Dr. Jenner type thing. Maybe not quite as practical, but he's able to use his skills later on in the comic series. His major contribution, when he seems basically useless, is that he has the idea that he can cast bullets using a machine shop nearby that he's able to locate. And he actually goes ahead and does this, and he starts to produce bullets, which is... Now think about how useful that is. This guy goes from being this weird, strange, autistic guy, I guess in the TV series version, to being able to replenish the characters in his group's weapons supply, against walkers. So imagine being able to have a guy that could produce masses of bullets for you so that you could just go around and not even have to worry about ammunition too much and just lay out walkers and people. The big thing is that it's useful against people, and especially in the long run, because if you consider this, think about 5 years into a zombie apocalypse, all ammunition is going to be used up. No one's going to have guns left. Guns are going to be obsolete at that point because everyone would have already used them to either kill walkers in emergencies or against other groups and other survivors. They're going to go through it all. It's all going to be used up no matter what after a certain amount of time. So to be able to have a guy like that on your team, he's a freaking gold mine. That guy is like more useful than any other character in the group, maybe even more useful than Rick to a surviving group. Now that can be argued because Rick is a great leader and everything, and he has kept the group alive for an extremely long time. But when you think about that ability to create those bullets for them, it's incredibly useful and will empower your group like almost no others would have, basically, right? And your chances of survival would be so much better than everybody else that has to go hand to hand like Negan's group, aside from some weapons, some firearms that they do have, and grenades and things like that. Even though it does kind of seem at this point like it's dwindling down. We're starting to see, I think, in the comic book series, at least in my mind, people run out totally of ammunition so that there's hardly any left. Negan mentions it to Rick. He said, you still use guns on the dead. Like, what the hell are you doing? There's hardly any left, and you're still using these? It's just like he can't believe that he's using them because he probably hates using them, even on the living when he has to use them, right? Because they're so everything's in such short supply now, a few years into the zombie apocalypse. So that said, I really enjoy this character transformation from this weird, awkward, defenseless, useless guy who you wonder why you keep around to the most useful character in the entire group, aside from maybe the leader, which can be argued. So it's a really cool transformation. I won't get into too many other spoilers, I think, because there's a lot of interesting things that happen in the comic book series with the three of them, Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita. And as weird as Eugene is, I'm really excited to just kind of see everything that happens with him and who is able to sort of crack his code, so to speak, and start asking him some questions and really figure out, without Abraham interjecting and stopping the conversation, what exactly are you trying to do here? What exactly are you doing with this whole mission to go to Washington to save the world and all this stuff like Eugene has hammered into to Abraham, just giving him a mission to basically keep him alive and stay on the road, and their whole strategy to stay away from, to not stay in one location, but to always travel around. That way you can avoid herds and things like that. It's a very interesting little group of three characters, and I'd have to say, out of all the new characters for the entire season, even those that have come in at the beginning of season 4 with the Woodbury group, Bob and the rest, I personally would have to say that I'm more excited to see what happens with Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita than any others, particularly Eugene and how he develops, because it's a lot of fun. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about his character. Do you hate him? Do you like him? What do you think about the way he manipulates Abraham? And how do you think they're gonna reveal it? How do you think the big reveal is going to happen that he's totally full of nonsense and that there's no, this is all too good to be true, garbage nonsense he's been feeding Abraham. I hope they go along with Rick kind of questioning him and getting it out of him sooner or later. So should be good stuff. Can't wait to see how that all works out. Let me know what you guys think about Eugene. Great character. Love him in the Walking Dead television series and comic book series. And pretty much all I got to say for this one. If you guys have any other video topics, please feel free to send them to me. We'll probably do one character spotlight on Tara very soon because I think she's another very interesting character. Call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev saying peace.